Update on SM, my family, and my kids. I'll start off by probably disappointing a lot of people. We're coming to terms with the fact that it's unlikely SM will get anything more than a slap on the wrist. Me and Jane are discussing our next move with our lawyer, but we're still not sure how we're going to move forward. It's too early to tell anyway, so we're trying not to get ahead of ourselves any more than we already have. However, I'm relieved to announce that we're getting started on the process for a restraining order against SM. We're using the same evidence we gathered the week following the incident, including the nanny cam footage and pictures of Luke, and we'll focus on that for the time being. I still haven't spoken to my father. My sister is still in LC, but is seriously considering cutting ties with him. Because my sister is the only one on my side that still talks to him, my father keeps trying to ask her about me, and whether I've calmed down yet. According to her, he's annoyed that half of his family refuses to talk to him, but still doesn't seem to accept why. I told my sister that she doesn't need to keep playing messenger pigeon between me and our father. I never asked her to do it, and it's clearly taking a toll on her, but she insists she'll stop when it feels right. By the way, there is absolutely no doubt whether SM attacked Luke. Not only did Luke say it the moment we got home, but that was also confirmed by my father in a failed attempt to defend her behavior. He never tried to hide it from us. That and the fact that he gave Luke an ice bag is literally the only positive thing I can say about his actions. And SM was too busy screaming about how much of a whining brat Luke was being to deny it. To those who guessed SM is younger than my dad, you get an invisible cookie. She's also 5 years younger than his previous girlfriend. They got together when I was around 15. Also, stepbrother is only a month older than me. She turns 50 later this year. Had him at 21, married his father a year later. Both our kids are doing mostly okay. Luke's back to running around the house in his Superman costume whenever he doesn't have anything better to do. He did have few nightmares this past week, and has asked to sleep on our bed twice. We don't mention my father around him, and he's still seeing his counselor. Our 14-month-old son has learned 2 new words, hi and bye, and Luke is trying to teach him to say his name. Jane's sister, who moved away for college, is coming over for a couple days to celebrate her 21st birthday later this month. Luke's excited to see her, and Jane's excited to get drunk with her. Can't say I blame her. We're hoping her presence will cheer us all up. I'm not doing so good, and neither is Jane. She's usually the kind of person who tries to keep her negative emotions to herself, but she cried herself to sleep almost every night the week it happened. It breaks my heart to see her like that, and I can't help but feel like this is my fault. There's a part of me trying to tell me I had no way of knowing SM would do anything like that, but that doesn't really change anything. I allowed my father near my kids unsupervised, even though I knew she'd probably tag along. This is the guiltiest I've ever felt, and I don't think I'll ever forgive myself. Jane has been improving lately, and is trying to convince me to see a therapist. I've never really done that before, apart from a psychiatrist when I was younger, but now feels like a good time to give it a try. I was surprised by a few messages this week from people telling me to forgive my father and SM, as well as re-invite them to the wedding. That's not happening. In fact, I'm not willing to ever forgive SM. My dad has now degraded to a huge maybe, but I will never understand or forget what she did. Also, though the wedding is the last thing on our minds right now, we're not postponing it. We considered rescheduling, but the date we'd settled on is pretty much the only one that works for our guests. We have passwords with all our vendors, and gave them all clear instructions not to talk to anyone but us. Jane's family is bigger and closer to each other, which is why they're more involved in the wedding than mine. But I do have family participating. My sister is one of the bridesmaids, 2 of my cousins are groomsmen, and my mom is walking down the aisle with the wedding party. Going through all of this with Jane has made me understand even more just how much I love this woman. I couldn't ask for a better partner to start a family with, and I have no idea what I'd do without her. This didn't tear us apart, and I couldn't be more thankful. I probably won't make any more updates until after the wedding unless something big happens. In the meantime, as always, best wishes to all of you. Woman tried to get her husband to fight me. To give some context, this happened to me last year when I was 13. I was a skinny 5'3" male, so not that scary. The story starts when I am hanging out with some of my friends, who of which are younger than me. One girl who I will call Nfefa, nice friend, was with me, and a few others. She had to bring her little sister who was 8, which no one had a problem with, until this adult woman and her teen daughter who I will call M and BT, entitled mother and bratty teen, comes over to M's younger sister and starts shouting. M said, "Do you have a problem with my daughter or something? Why don't you want her in the group? She has been crying all day because of you." Me and my friends ran over. "Tell her to back off." You would think the mother would be sensible and just leave us alone, but no, she then looks at Nfefa and says, "Does your family not have any good people in the house? Because it seems like you are all just stupid or sluts." Of course, a grown woman getting in the face of Nfefa and shouting at her made my friend start crying. So being the protective person I am, stepped in and told M, "Do you have a problem with your head? Or are you just here to bully little kids? You won't be saying another word to Nfefa or her sister. I don't care the reason. No, fuck off, you twat." This is when I stepped in the way of my friend Nfefa. BT, who looked about 16 at the time, who was the tallest person here, 5'11", got into my face and even tried to hit me, but I stepped out of the way. This makes both BT and M to go home, which wasn't far. I literally could see their house. I thought that would be the end of it until a 5'2" stocky-built man runs up to me and starts trying to get in my face. But because I was taller, he took everything I said as an insult. He said, "Are you the teen who thinks it's okay to threaten my wife?" I responded with, "Your wife was shouting at my friend." He then said, "Do you? You are tough as you are taller than my wife. Now, you have to deal with me." Of course was shaking because I was terrified as I didn't want to fight. I'm okay at it, but he was an adult. I just pushed him off me as he kept getting in my face and he tripped. I put my hands up thinking he was going to hit me, but he just ran off to his house because my friends started to record. It's been a year. We have never had any other problems with that family. For context, the reason the mother came over, I had to be told this as I just joined the group, was because the M's youngest daughter had been kicked out of the group a week prior to me joining the group. This was because she had tried to hit M's younger sister as they were both the same age and got into an argument because she had called M's younger sister a faggot for accidentally pushing her. That's all I was told. Deadbeat mom decides to make demands from me. My childhood was an absolute shit show that I'm still dealing with the ramifications from today. My parents divorced when I was barely 2 years old. My father was very abusive and was in and out of jail and homelessness my whole life. When I was 6, my mom, who was a once a month on the weekends parent, she never showed up to the custody hearings, so the judge gave custody to my abusive dad, decided she couldn't be a mother anymore, married another man, moved states, and had another child that she loved enough to raise. I only saw my bio mother about 5 times in my entire childhood. I was raised by my abusive father and my grandma until he died when I was 17. My mom didn't want to go to the courts to get custody, and neither did my grandma since I was a senior in high school, so CPS decided to just let me keep living with my grandma until I graduated. So, I became a legal orphan. I was able to go to college for free due to being an orphan and being in poverty. I eventually joined the military, moved out of my shithole state, got married, and have been living a great life ever since. I went about 7 years without speaking with my bio mom on the phone or in person. Randomly, about 2 years ago, when I went back to my home state to visit my dad's side of the family, hadn't seen them in over 3 years. I avoid going home often because everyone but me are either druggy or living in poverty, so they're always harassing my husband and I for money, favors, etc., while also yelling at me for having the audacity to fight my way out of poverty and make a life for myself. she called me, and had apparently moved back to my home state with my half-sister several years ago, and I had no idea. She begged me to meet her in person, where she then spent 2 hours sobbing about how sorry she is for abandoning me to my abusive father and how she regrets it every day. I tentatively agreed to forgive her and slowly build a relationship. She was happy with her at first, but is now upset that I treat her now as some distant aunt instead of having a mother-daughter relationship. To be honest, we will never have a mother-daughter relationship. If she wanted one, she should have raised me. Anyway, my half-sister also decided to reach out to me and create a relationship. We talk all the time and have become close. The last time I went home to visit, we went out to eat, and she asked me what the plan was for mom once she gets too old to take care of herself. I said, whatever she decides to do, I'll emotionally support her for her decision. She asked what I meant, and I said, I have zero plans to financially or physically help my mother in any way. She didn't raise me. She doesn't get the joy of having her oldest daughter take care of her in her old age. My half-sister was very upset with me and ran and told my mom, who then decided to start blowing up my phone, saying that she apologized and is trying, but that doesn't mean that I can abandon her in her time of need. I just laughed and hung up the phone. My husband fucking hates her and only puts up with her at all because of me. I don't know where this audacity is coming from. I don't know her, and she doesn't know me, but because I have more money and no kids, she thinks I should be the one to house and help her. Nope, not happening.